what's up, Turtle Riders? Hello. Let everyone roll in here, and we'll get this party started. All right, come on. What are we up to for followers here now? We are up to 4,157. That's piss poor. That's not good. That's not good. We got to get that up. All right. What are we up to? Go on this. I'm going to change the name of this one. What should we call this episode? What are we talking about here today? No, we'll call this another victory in court. That's what this was today. Undefeated streak continues. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead, guys, and share this on the Philip V. Prentice page, and then we'll get started. Come on. Come on. There we go. All right, we're ready to go here. Let's get this party started, shall we? Come on, Fupa computer. All right, what's up, Turtle Riders? Hello, and welcome to this episode of Uncle Turtleboy's Late Night Garage Podcast. This episode is brought to you by our good friends over at Garage Doors Plus in Quincy. All right, if you have one of those old rickety garage doors, folks, and it's just kind of taking up space, and you got to get out of your car to open it and lift it up like a savage, it's time to get with the times. Call up our good friends at Garage Doors Plus in Quincy. You can find them online at gdplus.com. They will come over your house that day. They will give you a price that is so fair, it will blow your doors off. No pun intended. And you will likely hire them on the spot. They're going to hook it up, get it done that day, give you a nice little clicker. You're going to press a button. The garage door is going to go up. Press it again. Boom, garage door is going to go down. Garage Doors Plus in Quincy. Find them online at gdplus.com. All right, so with that stated, welcome guys to the show. This is obviously an interesting day today. As you guys a lot of know, all over the news today on the Turtleboy blog was that I took a trip to Milford today for my much anticipated court appearance. And it was interesting to say the least. So how I'm going to do this right now, the whole thing was a blur to me. I don't know why they don't allow cameras in courtrooms. I think that's such bullshit. All this, it should be like on TV, like live streamed all the time. It's like, it's not a secret what's in there. So, and we all witnessed it. It's in your brain though. You can't like show a video of it. It's like, what the hell? So much freaking happened in like 15 minutes that I don't even know where to start, guys. Like, it was the wildest shit I've ever seen in my life. When I met her a couple weeks ago, it was wild. But it was nothing compared to today. Like, nothing. Today was freaking crazy town. Crazy town. Hadassah showed up today. So I didn't even think she was there. She was like outside. She didn't even want to come in the courtroom for the first like hour or whatever. Because you know her, she's all dramatic. Vladimir was there, of course, because he's the ride. And she had a victim advocate. I guess they all get this, even though she's not a victim in any way, shape, or form. I'm actually her victim. I had to, waste gas money going down to see her, so I'm victimized by her. But anyway, so she wants to get this restraining order against me. Now, restraining orders aren't that easy to come by. A lot of women out there have tried to get restraining orders against, men, and it's really not the easiest thing in the world. So this, I've done nothing to deserve a restraining order. For instance, I haven't contacted her at all. It's kind of a big element of the restraining order is you actually have to contact people. I did not contact her. Additionally, on top of that, and by the way, last episode, I did not swear once. Okay, the F word at least. You can say shit like that comes up. My goal, no more F words. That's my New Year's resolution here. No more F words. So hold me to that. Anyway, I was not the kind of person that deserves a restraining order in any way, shape, or form. Like, for instance, obviously I haven't contacted her. More importantly, I'm a reporter. And the judge did point that out today to her. Like, look he's a reporter. He's covered by the First Amendment. And everything she said today was a lie. She just got up there and lied under oath. And one thing I realized today is that, there's really no consequences to perjury in this country. You can just get up there and lie. She just lied over and over and over again. Here's some of the lies she claimed about me. For instance, she said that I was initially texting her, right? Well, I wasn't. I Facebook messaged her. And then I got her number. And she claims I posted her number everywhere. That's a lie. I never once posted her number. She posts her phone number literally everywhere. It's all over the place. Call me in the comment section. Call me. She had a freaking open house, right? And it was going to be a secret about who my attorney was because she claims that the reason that these people are being so mean to her is because, she was supportive of the police chief, Tom O'Laughlin, who was unceremoniously dumped and got away with it, basically. And the police are going to investigate it, to my understanding of it all. And the police chief obviously would not drop it. And so this guy's like, fine, I'm your boss, I'm fucking firing you, which seems incredibly corrupt. But whatever. So he's an attorney now. And I reached out to him through a third party. I heard he was offering to help. So I said, I don't really need a lawyer for this, but I'll take one. Why the hell not? It saves me. I didn't have to say a word in court today. It was awesome. So I'm getting in there, and he's got his other partner is the former police chief of Mendon, right? Ernie Horn. And these guys are all prepared. They know they're going to question her. First of all, she could have questioned me. She didn't do it. I was really looking forward to that. I literally didn't say a single word up there. Not one word. I nodded my head a few times when she lying. She did almost all of the talking. Ask anyone who was there. I said the F word? No, I didn't say the F word. I swear to God I didn't say the F word. No. So she did most of the talking. She got up there and rambled on, guys. It was a performance for the ages. She literally got up there and ranted on about, this is her the whole time. Your Honor, so I'm so scared right now. I'm so scared. The Turtle Riders are messaging me, and I'm scared. I've lost 20 pounds. I don't know, and they're gonna kill me. It's that. It was freaking insanity, guys. I said freaking insanity, guys. It was insane. And she not only lied about the first time, how we first contacted each other. That was a lie. She also made up some pretty big whoppers, right? She claimed that, that I threatened to kill, because he goes, this is what she said. She kept saying they. They're messaging me. They're doing this. They're doing that. And she's like, the judge's like, who's they? She's like, Turtle Riders. She said Turtle Riders 10 times. As if it's assumed the judge has any idea what a freaking Turtle Rider is, what that even means. Maybe he reads the blog. I don't know. But first of all, there was a lot of Turtle Riders in the house, and it was very obvious who they are because they were wearing, a lot of them were wearing Turtleboy stuff. It was fantastic. And on top of that, there was also one Turtle Rider there who brought a sign that said "Free my Turtleboy," which was awesome. He busted it out. He got in trouble. I mean, it was a circus, guys. It was a circus. I mean, I came spiffy. I got my shirt and tie on. I wasn't going to mess around. I was going to be all professional about this. I'd let other people other people dress how they want, but, oh, man. So she keeps pointing to all the Turtle Riders in the courtroom, saying, oh, they're here to intimidate me, this and that. And I could hear them in the back of my head, like, whispering, like calling her liars whenever she lied. Like, it was great. I could feel the atmosphere in the courtroom whenever she lied. It was very interesting. Every single eye in that courtroom was looking at her, right? I've been to court plenty of times before. It's boring. It's mundane. It's the same crap over and over again. It's like they just call up a bunch of people who have warrants or, they're getting a quaff. They're meeting their lawyer for the first time. Nobody in Milford, as I mentioned before, speaks English. No, but every single person in Milford that goes to court speaks Portuguese and Portuguese only. So that I learned that today. There's more people in Worcester, guys, that speak English. When I go to the Worcester courthouse, less people need an interpreter than in Milford. That's freaking insane. Oi. Anyway, so the big lies that she was telling, she says that they were threatening to kill me. And he says, who's they? Turtle Riders. Well, the judge kept pointing out, look at you, you're not taking out a restraining order against Turtle Riders. You're taking a restraining order against this guy right here. So you tell me about what he's done. Has he called you? Has he done anything? And the judge says, and she says, yes, he's called and threatened me. It's like, okay, never happened, guys. The last time I spoke with Hadassah was after the blow-up. There has been no communication since then. No attempt at communication, nothing. Oi. And she says that I did two things. She says that there was two calls. The first call, I called and I threatened to burn her house down. Burn her house down. I never, ever threatened. That's just a bold-faced lie. Secondly, and this is, correct me if I'm wrong, Turtle Riders who were there, but it's my understanding from what I remember that she accused me of, what the heck was the lie? There was a good, crazy lie in there, guys. Let me pull it up. Hold on. I wrote this one down. Hold on. Stand by. Somebody messaged the exact. Yeah, she accused me of pulling two Michelle Carters. Basically, she said that I bragged to her. Oh, I got a Turtle Rider was there. I'm going to answer her call right now. Hello. Hello? You there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. So this is Shayna. She was there today. How you doing?
My TV's on a delay. Sorry.
Okay,
I'm good.
okay.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So, if I recall this, she accused me of bragging about getting two people to kill themselves, and if I recall her exact wording, it was that I will make you number 3, except I can make it look like a suicide, right?
Yep, that's it.
That's insane.
You're Michelle Carter.
So no, but Michelle Carter literally got him to kill himself. What she was suggesting is that I
murdered people and made it look like a suicide.
Right, that I murder people and make it look like Jeffrey Epstein, basically.
He called me, Your Honor, and he called me the C-U-N-T word. That was her first accusation.
I don't even remember that.
Snowballed from there.
It all went over. It was so much stuff. I don't even remember it all.
It was something.
She spelt out C-U-N-T. That's wild.
Yeah, that was like her first sentence. I was like, oh, this is going to be good.
Oh, God. Now, from where you were sitting, what did her behavior look like? How would you describe her behavior?
Shaking from head to toe. I've never seen somebody tremor like that was not in a seizure. Right.
Do you think she was faking it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think she's a hysteric.
Yeah, I think she was definitely faking it. I mean, it seemed like she poured it on when she wanted to. Now, it seemed like every person in the courtroom as well was like transfixed with this woman.
Jaw dropping.
Yeah. Like just
You could have heard a pin drop in that courtroom.
And it was crowded.
Yeah.
It was crowded. Like every seat in the courtroom was filled on a freaking Thursday.
Do you remember when she went on and on about how, I think she expected to be like lauded by the judge for what she does with the shelter. She's like, I ran that shelter on my own dime for years. I never took anything, and he demanded to see my book. Like, that's kind of how she opened it, talking about how she paid for everything for all those years.
Yeah.
And I think right there he was just like, yeah, this is not what not what a restraining order's for.
Yeah, I mean that's what she does every single time. Every single time you start questioning her about the house, she just starts bragging about, for years, I didn't get a single dime, from this house, and I'm this great person. Okay, well, if you weren't getting donations from people, how were you paying your bills? That's what I want to know. Because you didn't have a job. So, and the restaurants didn't exist. And remember, the restaurants are so profitable that they somehow fund the house. So, and it was
30 people living in it.
Yeah, what she was doing for money before that, God knows what. Now, I saw. Did you see this afterwards? The cops were at her house afterwards. They got called to her house.
No.
Yes, they got called to her house. Evidently, according to people listening to the scanner, the son called the cops on the daughter. Just another day. Just another day at the Gann Rivka Center. That's security, by the way. That's security. Just banging hobos, as Brett calls it, etc. Anything else you remember from that? You want to remind me about?
She's afraid for her life and her animals' lives.
The animals' lives, that's right. Yes, I'm going to kill the animals, of course, yes.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, your lawyers, though, they were pretty good.
Yeah, they were counting. I think they had a longer script to go. Replaying the blogs. And the guy's like, no, are you threatening her or not? Because if you're not threatening her, then there's no restraining order.
I was so hoping the judge was going to be like, we're going to take a quick recess and I'm going to read all the blogs and we'll be back.
I know, he should have prepared. It
was funny, though, when she kept saying his turtle riders. Every time he was like, well, who's threatening your life? His turtle riders.
Yeah, it's
the
me.
judge was like, what the hell is she talking about?
What is she talking about?
I also liked kind of how the judge was like, sending a message to the police, like, stop sending people in here for these orders when it doesn't really fit the criteria.
Oh, you think so? Is that what he was doing? I was wondering, because he mentioned the police.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like...
He was just saying, everybody comes down to the courthouse to take these orders out when it just doesn't, that's not what they're there for.
See, I'm glad I had you on, because I kind of missed that. Yeah, I guess that is what he said towards the end. He was basically telling her that you're in the wrong place, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you're in the wrong courtroom. Like, if you want to sue him, go sue him. But this is not... And he did. There was a police officer there, and I don't know if you recall, the police officer basically called her a liar.
Yeah, and then she tried to ask the cop a question, the court officer a question from Milford, and the judge was like, no, I asked him.
Yeah. Vladimir tried to get up at one point, and he was told to
I missed that. I don't know where the hell I was for that.
Yeah. Now, do you remember when, did you clap when it was dismissed?
No, I knew better.
Well, you had a baby with you, too.
Yeah.
Yes, baby's first day in court.
I was an officer. I went to court all the time. So
right, of course. So you're familiar, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there was, just to let people know, I know that we're new to this. Generally, generally we don't clap in court. I feel like I should have stated that before, but I understand people got caught up in the moment. It was exciting, victory. But
it's funny because she opens up with like, he's got these people coming after me and he's created this mob mentality, and then you win the case and like the whole mob stands up and cheers.
Yeah. Exactly. I know. Yeah.
Well, it was a great day. It was.
Yeah, it was fun.
I thoroughly enjoyed
what else
that. That was definitely
good way. I mean, you're on maternity leave, right?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
That
What better way to?
Aside from spending time with my baby, that was like the highlight of all my.
Yeah. There you go. All right. I'm going to hang on and see if anyone else wants to call in, but thank you for calling in.
See you later.
All right, bye.
Sorry I didn't stick around to chat with anyone, but I had to get the baby out of there.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
All right. See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. If anybody else wants to call in, they're more than welcome to. If not, we can move on to the next subject, but they do clap. Diane makes a good point. They do clap in the movies when the good guy wins. It's usually a slow clap. Did she ask for an escort out? No, But they did make me wait a couple minutes so she could get out of there to avoid conflict. It's kind of like a one courthouse kind of place. There's another courtroom, but it's usually not open. But I'll tell you one thing, I don't think there's a court in Massachusetts in which the court officers aren't familiar with Turtleboy. So, it's always a fun day when Turtleboy's there. You're going to get an entertaining day in court. You're going to get your money's worth, etc. All right. All right. Anybody have any questions or anything before I kind of pick a topic, or maybe you guys could pick a topic? Megan's telling me to order the court recordings. Is it that simple? Maybe. We'll see. I don't know how much money that costs, whatever, but I'll look into that. The courthouse would be, did any court officers ask for an autograph? Now, it's kind of unprofessional for them too, but other people, I signed their books. That was cool. All right, Fat Rob saying, just since this has been a TB Daily News one, want to let you know all my internet browsers tell me not to go to that website. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Did you guys get together for an after party? No, because a lot of us had places to go, Did Hadassah cry on her way out? Probably. She cries all the time whenever she wants anyway. What did her face look like when the chief walked in? Just jaw dropping, like, oh, crap. Oh, man. The lawyer, Kerry, was the former chief of police who she claims that she's been attacked because she supported him in the past. And then he shows up to defend me. So, when is the event at the Central Tavern? That would be October 19th. I'm going to put a blog out about it, let people know about it. We're going to be gift card. That's the difference between me and Greg Bates. Greg Bates would demand, a gift card for himself, and then Chrissy, what's Langdon would win the raffle. That's Greg Bates style. That's not me. I just want to promote your company. I don't want free stuff from you. I just want to give it to other people so they go in your door, and maybe the idea of giving out a $25 gift card, right, is that you're going to spend more than $25. So we're getting you in the door, and then you're going to spend more money when you're in there. Was I the only defendant with the tie? Yes. I mean, you should see the court outfits, guys, that people wear. It's just like, that's why it's like when you wear a shirt and tie to court, you stand out as like, okay, this guy's not a gutter muppet. This guy obviously is not a douchebag. And I think I held my own. I was very cognizant of my facial reactions because I'm told that I can be a little condescending looking, a little cocky looking sometimes. It's not the best look. I'm told that I'm the guy that, gets a ticket when he gets pulled over instead of a warning. So in the past, that's been me. So I tried to, stand upright and not look like a douchebag, basically. And it was hard. I tried not to look at Hadassah. I tried to just look at the judge. And when she was just saying outrageous stuff about me, I just would shake my head. Nope, didn't say that. And that's it. So, etc. What else are people walking? How low do you have to be if the turtle poops on you? Pretty low. I'm still undefeated in court. That's correct. Turtleboy eats. That'd be funny if we had that. All right. Any other questions? Did anybody else want to call in that was there? If not, no biggie. I can move on to the next topic. How about this? You guys pick a topic. We'll talk about it. It can be something we blogged about or something we haven't blogged about. Anything you guys want to hear from me, I'll just rant about whatever. Before we do though, let me just show you. Let me show you what I woke up to today and couldn't stop laughing at. I could not stop laughing at this, guys. AOC is back. I guess she went on vacation. I freaking love AOC. Like I've learned to start to love insane liberals. Like I used to hate them, but they are the most, as long as you don't take them seriously, as long as you just sit back and laugh at them, it's all fun and games, man. It's great. So AOC did this, Andrea, you can call the Philip Prentice on Facebook. So let me just show you this AOC video first. This is the funniest thing I've ever seen. Watch this.
I'm trying to have a nice life. I understand this completely, obviously. While I was on vacation, I woke up in the middle of the night at 3:30 in the morning, just concerned about climate change. I'm 29 years old.
Okay. Okay, one more time. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. I woke up at 3:30 in the morning.
Just concerned about climate change.
Oh my God! That's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. She's on. Picture that. You're on vacation. You're relaxing, right? You're relaxing. And then it's like, I can't sleep. It's 3:30 in the morning. Oh, I got so much stuff on my mind. I'm on vacation right now. What are you thinking about? Fucking climate change, dude. Freaking polar bears and shit. Oh my God. The freaking polar ice caps are melting. Oh my God. 12 years, guys. Oh, we need a Green New Deal. How can I be on vacation right now? I can't sleep. She goes on.
I'm 29 years old. I really struggle sometimes with the idea of how to be a policymaker and potentially have a family in the time of climate change. And it really...
Oh! Guys, it's too funny. It's too good. Picture that. She can't picture. She's 29 years old, and she's thinking about having a family, but she can't because she's living in the time of climate change. Now, I'm not a climate denialist. I'm not like a global warming. It's not happening. I've seen it in progress, right? I've been to Alaska, where I went on my honeymoon there. You saw the tree lines of how, glaciers were melting over time. It's very evident that, glaciers are melting. There's no doubt about that, right? Now, the causes of that are debatable, and what we can do is debatable to fix that, obviously. But I'm not denying that it exists, okay? But it's amazing. I can't figure out if she's serious. Do you guys think she's serious? That's what I want to know. Even I want to hear from Laura about this. I want to hear from other liberal people. Are you as worried as her? Do you think you're gonna die? Because she thinks she's gonna die. She's on vacation and she can't sleep. It's 3:30 in the morning and she's just waking up in a hot sweat. Oh, climate change. Oh, I can't sleep. Climate change. No. Do you guys think that's genuine? Do you think she really is doing that? In which case, she's a brainwashed lunatic. Or do you think it's all an act? That's what I want to know from people. Do you think this is all an act? What do people say? Let's see. Yeah, she doesn't know how to relax. I completely agree with that. It's just chill, girl. I mean, this girl would not be fun to hang out with. It's picture going out to the bar with her, right? I mean, she's 29, right? Have fun. Live your life, right? You're going to go out. Picture banging her, right? How does her boyfriend even bang her? You just freaking smashing it. Oh, AOC. Oh, yeah, AOC. Call me Mrs. A. Call me Mr. AOC. And then she's like, oh, you gotta stop. Freaking climate change. I can't even have a climax because of climate change. Right? So what do people say? Is she that stupid or is she acting? That's what I want to know. She's acting for the less smart people's votes. That could be it. Other people say she's stupid. Yeah. Can I just play the rest of this video? I gotta play the rest of this video.
Freaks me out, and it can be really, really scary.
Oh, it gets scary.
we are kind of blowing past a lot of the markers that scientists thought would happen years from now, and they're actually happening now. Our glaciers are melting.
That's true.
Our sea levels are rising, and I'm scared sometimes too.
You should be.
About the world that I'm going to be living in.
Yes.
That we're all going to be living in.
We're gonna die. All of us.
I sometimes fear.
Yes.
What we're going to be living with when I'm 40, 50, 60
10 years
old.
from now. 10 freaking years from now. How is she gonna survive, guys? Oh, I love her so much, guys. I love her. She's so funny. The other ones in the crew, in the squad, they're not funny. Like Ilhan Omar is just the devil. Like, she's evil. Like, not her voice. And some people did something, and they want to take all of our liberties. She's like, whoa, easy there, soldier. Rashida Tlaib is the craziest of all of them. She's the low-key nutjob one. Gets kicked out of Trump rallies, like, completely insane. And then there's pastor, right, preacher, Ayanna Presley. I swear to God, she thinks she's like the bishop or something, the way she talks. Let me tell you about the ceilings that I had to overcome as a black woman in Roxbury. Let me tell you. Oh my God, those three aren't funny. AOC is funny, man. That shit you just watched, that is hilarious. That's the funniest shit I've ever seen. I can't get it. Like, picture it waking up tonight, guys. You're gonna go to sleep and then waking up at 3:30 in the morning. Oh, fucking. Climate change. Oh, climate change. Oh my God. Anyway, anything you guys want to ask me, go ahead now. Now that I got my AOC rant out of the way, I swear to God I could write a blog about her every day. I love her so much. And you get the best part is she's not going anywhere. She's 29 and she won by like 70%, which means she has that seat for life. So, and she's not the kind of chick that has any hope of rising, right? That's the beauty of her, is that she'll never get elected senator. You have to be somewhat composed to do that. Like, she can't do it. Yeah. All right. Any more updates on the blog on Diane Vieira? Remind me who that is, Mommy Rodriguez. I don't even remember. By the way, if anybody here knows a good HVAC guy in the area of central Massachusetts, feel free to send me a message. I got a leaky air conditioner down here. I don't know what the hell's going on. We got an issue. Anyway, back to the questions people are asking. Imagine if she gets pregnant and someone tells her to have an abortion. She would definitely have an abortion, because how can she bring a child into this world, Rich? It's like, we're all going to die. Would you want it? That's like selfish to do that, you know? What else are people saying? What do you predict? This is a good question. What do you predict for Hadassah in the GRC? So, one thing I was very pleased about today was, it turns out the Board of Health Hadassah's been lying. And that's one thing I should have seen coming. She lied when she said the Board of Health didn't do anything. That's a lie. The Board of Health told her she has to get rid of those beds. There's too many beds in there, right? And I don't know how Hadassah is going to get rid of all those beds. She can only have 6 beds in there. And they also made her rip up the urine-soaked rug, which she did not mention. Now, she claims that she offered to do that, as if that makes it any better. Now, what do I think is going to happen to them? I think it will no longer... eventually, she'll get foreclosed on. I think that's what's going to happen, because how are they going to pay the bills? Well, first of all, the restaurant and the 2 shops will go out of business first, because they haven't been open in like a month, and they don't make any money, and they get all their money from the Gan Rivka Center, so it's basically an expense. So that'll go first, and then she'll have the 2 things. Now, it all depends on Larry Goldberg. If Larry Goldberg is still the sugar daddy, We still don't understand his role in all this. If he's still paying for everything, then she can live there forever, right? But she really needed those donations. Like, she was just barely getting by with those donations. And the donations, those are over. Now, I talked to Senator Ryan Fatman today. He emailed me back. He's going on vacation, though. And when he comes back, him and I are going to have coffee. We're going to talk about this. And I really feel like Fatman and Murray are the two that can really take this down, because we all know that your corrupt board of selectmen aren't going to do anything. Like, you can't trust those douchebags. I don't even know how those guys get elected in the first place. That's one thing I would suggest people in Milford do. Run for selectmen. It's not a full-time job. Who cares, right? Make a little stipend. You can do a better job than these idiots. I think Kincaid's seat is up in 2021. So what do I think is going to happen to this shelter? I think it's either going... I think she's going to get foreclosed on eventually. That's what I think is going to happen. She can't afford 2 mortgages. She can't do it. And she's not going to get any more donations. Like, you'd have to be a moron to donate. When you Google the Gangrivka Center, and this is her pattern, by the way. Like, she just moves on to the next one. It's what she does. So, Failure Swift court date. Not yet. We're still waiting on that one. I was supposed to have the pet trackers motion to dismiss on next Thursday in Woburn, but Woburn District Court is closed on Thursday, so it got moved till November 5th. Oi, oi, oi. These never end. How about the woke mob coming after the AP history teacher? Yeah, that one really pissed me off. Did you guys read that story? That one really annoyed me because I'm biased. I'm a former history teacher, right? And I valued that kind of teacher growing up. The hard ass, the old guy who'd been doing this for years, who knew what he was doing, got results, and wasn't a nice guy. We had a guy like that at South High. His name was Mr. Levine, and he was just a grumpy conservative dude. But he taught AP history. He was my AP history teacher, and he taught it well. And most of his kids passed the test. And he wasn't nice, right? But we all were. You're an AP. You understand? You're in this class because it's advanced. So if you don't want to do it, then don't be in the class. Go down with the slugs, right? And the morons. Go with them. So I feel bad for the guy because he basically all he's in trouble for doing, he's caught on, and this really pisses me off too. This is allowed. You're not allowed to just videotape someone else without their consent, right? Or record someone without their consent. It violates wiretapping laws. But a kid can bring a phone into a classroom and secretly tape you and use your words against you to try to get you fired. How is that not wiretapping? Riddle me that. If a teacher did the same to the student, they'd be in big trouble. They'd be fired. That should not be admissible. And that's another reason I was so glad I left teaching when I read the story, because I'm like, yeah, this is what principals do. They sell you out to the woke mob, right? And that's exactly what the principal and the superintendent did to this poor guy. First of all, the controversy, he was heard on tape explaining how a noose works because he was teaching a lesson in how humane executions were done by the state. These weren't lynchings, not like mob lynchings, like when mobs used to tie black people to trees. It's not that, because I'll tell you one thing, they didn't care how the noose was freaking put together for that. They didn't care about humane ways to execute, obviously. He was talking about state-sanctioned executions. So I hope you learned something when you read that blog about the way Lincoln's the Lincoln killers, 3 of the 4 of them were killed immediately because their necks snapped. The other guys didn't, so they had to figure out new ways to tie nooses, wet them all. I guess it worked. So I didn't even know that. That's an interesting piece of history the guy brought up. But of course, that's racist somehow. Because why? Because black people have been hung too. So therefore, it's racist. That's freaking insane, guys. Absolutely insane. That we can't even teach kids crap anymore without this guy fearing losing his job. Are you kidding me? What a joke. And of course, and I've seen this before with these special interest groups, it's always some group that hides behind kids. This happened a few months ago in Worcester when they were going after the superintendent, calling her a racist. They just repeat the same thing. School to prison pipeline. Cops out of schools, right? Less suspension for students of color. We need more teachers who look like us, which is the most racist thing you could possibly say. Now, I'll tell you one thing. Not a single student in any of these instances has ever had these thoughts on their own. Not once. They get brainwashed by adults, by like 25-year-old professional activist adults, right? Who spend their entire lives doing stuff like that. That's it. And basically, what really sucks is that, they're doing this in the name of, social justice, but it's evil. It's like, you're like destroying a man, that you don't know. You don't know him. You don't know if he's a good guy or not. And I've been there before in class. Some kids don't like you, right? Because you're too hard. You're mean. A lot of kids misinterpret the things you say. You're mean. Got that all the time as a teacher. Oh, Mr. Carney doesn't like me. That's what some guidance counselors would come up and tell me sometimes. Oh, he thinks you don't like him. Now, I have no opinion of him. I don't like or dislike any students. It's my job to teach them. What are you talking about? Like him. Oh, he doesn't feel comfortable coming to you. Well, that's his problem. Get over it. Come see me. Like this, oh my God. I was that guy, right? And I've seen this in action before. And the fact that they know that the only way to make this effective is to use... He got dragged through it. He shouldn't have had to gone through any of that. And now they're all mad about it. Screw them. Screw them. It's down in New London, Connecticut. Hopefully we pick up some new readers down there in Connecticut. We don't have enough readers in Connecticut. So anyway, what else are people saying? Everything is Chrissy's fault. Chrissy was there today, by the way. I was thinking about making shirts that say Chrissy made me, but I feel like I'd have to get her permission first. Okay, good. I'll check out that after the Mega Mortis is telling me to get the court recordings for $10, how to do that. I will look into that after this program is over. Let's talk about Linda. Linda turned into be a distraction and I saw some people comment about that, and they're kind of right. Linda turned out she hijacked the whole story, and I don't want to give her any more attention. You have central air? Just had her fixed. Yes, I do have central air, so please message me, Mr. Piscatelli. Is she aware of a mortgage and or rent? Is she aware of what a mortgage or rent is? I assume so. She's been there for quite some time. Yeah, it's like Mega Mortis. So this big, I'll show you guys. You guys want to see this? Let me show you this. So this thing right here. Look at this thing. You guys see this? This thing. It's just filled with water. So those are the vents. That's the AC vent, right? That it goes in there. Oh, we're learning stuff today. We're HVAC people tonight. Can you guys see that? I don't see. It's like, see that drip? I don't know what the AC's not even on right now. It only happens when I turn it on. So this thing is just heavy with water. I can feel it, right? So I don't know what the hell's going on here. I don't know how to fix that. If somebody's watching this and you're an HVAC guy, it's probably a really easy fix, but I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So if anybody, and it's almost like the end of summer too, probably not even going to need AC much longer. I don't know. All right. What else are people saying? Is Linda still blaming Chrissy? Probably, yeah. Yeah, we should do a dance called the Hadassah Shake. That'd be a good one. All right. No expectations of privacy. Well, there is an expectation of privacy in the classroom, right? Like, if there was no expectation of privacy in classrooms, then why aren't there surveillance videos in every classroom in the country? Why not? Right? Either you can film in a school or you can't. You couldn't even film in a courtroom today. Why not? So, like, if I had filmed in a courtroom, if I had taped Hadassah today, that would be against the law. But a student can do that to a teacher? No, that's not right. That ain't right. And that, by the way, people are always like, oh, Republicans are always telling me. By the way, this is where I'm against Republicans, is when it comes to unions. They're always saying, oh, you don't need unions. You don't need unions. Are you kidding me? Look, this is a perfect example, the story in Connecticut or why you need unions. You want your job and your livelihood tied to a bunch of social justice douchebags, right? On the school board who literally cater to these douchebag, spoiled, snot-nosed kids whining about oppression? Give me a break. No. I'll take the union, thank you. All right. Let's see. Agree. Let's see. My dad was a teacher until '96. The principal always threw him under the bus. Yeah, that's what they do for. Work is good. I know you will rush. I'd love to see a black teacher describe how. That's the thing. People always talk about diversity with teachers. I was on hiring committees. We wanted to diversify. At Shepherd Hill, we didn't have a single black teacher there. I think we had like 2 or 3 Latinos. We also didn't have a lot of black students. But we know black people didn't apply for the job, right? We get 100 applications for a history position, and none of them were black. None of them. So, like, what do you want us to do? They're not applying for the jobs. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's for good reason. Teachers don't get paid that much for the kind of work they do. I'm not saying they're underpaid or they're overpaid. I think they're somewhat fairly paid, in my opinion. Maybe a little more. I think teachers should have the opportunity, just like cops, to collect detail overtime work, right? Like, for instance, if I'm going to stay after school with your crotch fruit and give him extra help, gonna need to get paid for that. Cops, they don't do details for free. I don't know why teachers do work for free at the school. I always said that. So I think teachers are fairly compensated. I just think they should get detail work, extra for extra work. But my point here being is that if you're African American and you have a master's degree, which is required to be a teacher, you can get a 6-figure job, in the private sector pretty easily. Like, there isn't a company in America that isn't looking to diversify. So why would you want to subject yourself to a profession like teaching? Let's see. Has Linda been in touch with you? No, she has not. I'm done with her. Come to India. They not throw teachers under the bus. They've been known to the students down the stairs, though. Yeah. All right. Any other questions? Chrissy broke the AC unit, people are saying. Are all teachers really familiar with students' IEPs like they're supposed to? You better believe it. The teachers don't mess around with IEPs. IEPs are legally binding contracts, individual ed plans. And those are the students. They make it very clear. The SPED department makes it very clear, and your department head makes it very clear, and the guidance counselor makes it clear. Like, the 5 or 6 kids that you have in IEPs, they don't fail. Those kids don't fail. Right? That's on you. And they have accommodations in their plan. And some of them are absurd accommodations. Right? Like, gets to redo tests or can't take points off for spelling, stuff like that. And you just understand going into it, it's like the kids with the IEPs, those are the ones you're not allowed to fail. Because if you do, and the parents go through that IEP and you have not hit every single accommodation in that IEP, the school will have a major lawsuit on their hands. So you do not fail kids with IEPs. It's like a big no-no that we were taught on day one. I've never, ever failed a kid. I've failed kids before for the year. Not one of them had an IEP. I wouldn't dream of failing a kid with an IEP. 504 plans are slightly different because 504 plans are not as in-depth, and I don't think they're legally binding. I don't think you can get sued for not. 504 plans are like literally like a piece of paper, right? I don't even think they go year to year. IEPs are like freaking big documents, right? They're done by there's like a psychiatric evaluation done with it. It's like 7 or 8 pages, and then like bulleted, freaking, you got to do this. And every year there's a big meeting about like, are we going to get rid of any accommodations? Are we going to add any accommodations? No. IEPs are not for the really smart kids. Now, I don't want to say for stupid kids, because there are smart kids who have had IEPs, but it's for kids who, let's put it this way, they learn differently. They learn differently. So, what are people saying? I failed with an IEP? I wouldn't have dreamed of failing a kid with an IEP. Never. I knew who the 5 or 6 kids. I had the IEPs were in my top left-hand drawer. Okay, sitting there to remind you. I had to remember. Like I had a freaking chart of like accommodations for the IEP kids, and I made sure they got them all. Right. I had to make special tests for them. Right. If the accommodation says it has to have a word bank for the fill-ins, I got to make a separate test just for Johnny, right? And I'm going to do it because I'm going to cover my ass. So, yeah. So, yeah, you better be. If you're not familiar with the IEP, you're going to get yourself in some trouble. You're going to get yourself in some trouble. Students are in charge because of the unions. No, Rich. No. If it weren't for the unions, then students would run the show, right? For instance, like, what if a student says you diddled her? That happened at Shepherd Hill when I was there. A science teacher was falsely accused by like a freshman of, being inappropriate. The whole thing was a lie. Were it not for the union, he would have been canned, like immediately. But you can't, it's hard to fire a unionized person because they have an organization behind them. They have lawyers behind them that are going to back them up, right? So that's why unions are important for teachers because you're working with kids, man. Kids. You got to have freaking people have your back with that. Yeah, I mean, and that's a good point, Cherokee, with cops. Cops unions don't mess around. I love cop unions, right? My buddies are, I have a buddy in the state police, right? And he's like, when Deval Patrick was running against, forget who it was. Was it Kerry Healy in 2006? I want to say that they endorsed Deval. And then Deval brought in flagmen. I don't know if you guys remember that. Brought in flagmen, and because they work for like $3 an hour less than cops do. And the state police union had a big meeting, and they're like, never again. We're only endorsing Republicans from now on, right? And that's the thing. It's like cops unions act in their best interest. Teachers unions just go deep. Like I used to say that, like literally Democratic politicians are just dumping on our face. Like President Obama shit on our face time and time again. Closed down schools, called them failing schools, blame the teachers instead of the shitty parents and the shitty students, right? And we're just like, just have more money. Obama, you're a freaking Democrat. Here's money. And then they don't work for you. The whole point of a union is you're supposed to lobby. You're supposed to tell these people, yeah, we'll endorse you. We'll give you some money. But you got to do this for me, dude. So that's why cops get paid more than teachers, right? They don't deal with bullshit. They endorse the right people. Would you support cameras in classrooms and hallways to protect BS accusations? Well, there are cameras in hallways, but in classrooms, I'd have to think about that one, man. I would say no. I would not want because you know why? It's like they would just go through and I talk all 180 days a year. I freaking talk. I'm sure you could have caught me on camera, making a joke or something that got misinterpreted. And next thing you know, they just play it over and over again. It's on the news. So no, when the more I think about that, no, I would not want that at all. Not at all. Yeah, the kid who would sleep for 30 minutes and have a soda in class. Exactly, Courtney. You know how it is. It's even worse in elementary schools. My wife teaches at elementary school. You should see some of the friggin' IEPs that, some of the accommodations she has to make for kids. It's insane. Insane. Well, one of mine with an IEP was allowed to have her phone. It calmed her down. Exactly. Did Dante quit the school board? Yeah, he is. He's just kind of packing it in, doing nothing, being a douche. But he's not running. All right, any other questions? Looking back at how the school treated you, maybe you should have just failed one anyway. I know. But, I like the kids with IEPs. The kids with IEPs were not behavior problems. They were just, I hate to say it, but some of them were just stupid, right? Like one kid just couldn't read. And it was like, you had to guide him through everything, you know? All right, anything else here? I'm glad you like TBS even more now. Appreciate that. All right. Obama allowed Wisconsin to break every union in that state. Wow. Happily taking their money. Not sure what you mean by that. Scott Walker is the one that broke the union in that state. The governor of Wisconsin was like the union buster of that state, not Obama. How do I feel about vouchers? I don't like vouchers. I'm against it. I say go to your neighborhood school. I'm a big into that. I'm against that. Vouchers are big government, right? I've always said this. People are like, your education shouldn't be dictated by your zip code. Why shouldn't it? Why not? Like, I bought a house in Holden. You know why I bought a house in Holden and not Southbridge where it's cheaper? Because of the schools. You choose to live. The biggest factor when you have kids and deciding where to live are the schools. No? It's like the biggest factor. So yes, your zip code should determine where you go to school. So vouchers are when you get, you have X amount of money allocated to you from the government, and then you can spend that money to go to this school or this school. So if you want to go to Shrewsbury High School, whatever. No, I don't believe in that. First of all, everyone would just go to the good schools, the quote unquote good schools, right? The bad schools would get even worse. It would be terrible. Do the same IEP rules apply for Catholic and private schools? No, that's a good question. Catholic and private, and that's why Catholic and private schools, I don't take them too seriously, is because, they're like, oh, well, they're performing whatever. It's like, well, yeah, and then you also kick kids out when they don't shave their mustache, right? If a kid looks bad, disrespects the nun, you're out of here. Yeah, well, it's easy to have good scores then, obviously. And no, they don't have, a lot of these Catholic schools, to my knowledge, do not have IEPs because they just don't accommodate it, Don't have it. What do I think about charter schools? These are great questions, guys. I've written a blog. You can look it up. It's called, I think, the top 14 reasons charter schools are a scam. I hate charter schools. Charter schools are the biggest scam the Republican Party has ever pulled on the American public. It is, they act like it's like school choice and small government. No, it's big government. They're literally just making new schools. Who do you think's paying for that, guys? Who do you think's paying for that? The taxpayers are. And then they're basically privately run public schools. They have no school committee, right? That's elected. They're accountable to nobody. They can pay their board of directors whatever they want. And they always turn into these social justice bullshit factories. I mean, we've written about charter schools a number of times, right? Have you considered starting an online homeschool? No, I am not. I have not. However, one thing Bristol and I have had serious conversations about, guys, is starting our own nonprofit. And I'm not like a bootleg nonprofit, because I'm looking at all these nonprofits. I'm like, these people are just scams. What if we did one right? Now, here's my idea for a nonprofit, right? Would be starting an organization, right, that teaches kids how to become citizen journalists, right? So hypothetically, we would apply for grants from, organizations, and Bristol and I and whoever else is on the board of directors, right, we would work with schools. Like, if your kid was a 15-year-old in school, he wasn't in a club, right? What if there was like a blogging club, right? And we taught it, and we went in there and we're like, we teach kids how to create a blog on WordPress. We teach them how to file a Freedom of Information Act. We teach them how to become citizen journalists in their community, something like that. That is the idea that we're contemplating right now. So that's what people. What about homeschooling? I mean, must be nice. I coached kids that were homeschooled, and they were some of the most normal, well-adjusted kids. I think it's a myth that the homeschool kids are all weird. The homeschool kids that I had on the track team were some of the best athletes I ever had, and they were some of the smartest too. Like, their parents were very intelligent people, and they just like, they had their life was easy because they didn't waste time in school, So, but the problem is you have to be home, right? I'm working, my wife's working. So a lot of two-parent, when both parents work, It's just not an option. Not an option. What somebody else? I saw a question here that somebody else asked. A nonprofit that takes pets, exactly. My daughter's in an awesome charter school, and I'm not like saying that all charters that you can't get a fine education at a charter school. But what I am saying is it's a myth that this represents like smaller government, right? Like it's like the whole idea is we're going to undermine public schools because they're being weighed down by teachers unions and they're lazy and stuff like that. But charter schools can kick kids out when they don't perform. Charter schools have lotteries, so of course they're going to do better on standardized tests, or at least they should, but they don't, believe it or not. And so I think your kid can get a good education anywhere. Like I went to South High School, which in Worcester, which most would be considered like the worst high school around here. And I did fine. Like I took AP classes and stuff like that. It's really just a matter of no matter what school you go to, the educational opportunities are going to be there. There's teachers there that are willing to teach you. And quite frankly, in a school like South, they're happy to teach you because a lot of kids don't want to learn. So you're like a breath of fresh air if you do. Anyway, what do Hadassah's neighbors think about the smell? Who knows? Have you tried the Popeyes chicken sandwich yet? No, but people are raving about it. Do you have any other job besides the blog? No, I haven't had a job in years, man. I mean, this blog was very profitable a couple years ago. I was doing well for myself. And read the book. It explains how it kind of all came crashing down. I get by now. Largely because of donations. I couldn't have done it without donations from people and stuff like that. The lawsuits worry me, obviously, because who knows how much those will cost. So we'll see. I don't know. Anyway, any more questions before we call it a night? Yeah, like crazy. That's crazy. Eagle Girl Brazil is right. She's like, no bad schools, just bad teachers. We never forget good teachers, do we? You're absolutely right about that. How can people donate to GRC and not Turtleboy? I don't know. I would not recommend donating to them. If you start the nonprofit for kids, become journalists, I want to know, please. I have a kid who would be interested. Yeah, that's definitely something we're interested in. But I'm just kind of throwing it out there, spitballing right now. I got to sit down. I got to learn more about how nonprofits work, etc. So anyway, why don't we call it a night, guys? Oh, man, it's been a long show. So we will see you guys on this weekend for a live show. I think Merrimack's coming on with us on Saturday. So it's going to be a good time. We'll see you then. Peace, Auto Riders.